Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you, my dear friends, are in the Prog Corner, where today I'm getting a little excited about the eclipse, April 8th. We are in the path of totality, so I'm pretty excited about that. I have never witnessed a total solar eclipse before. I'm thinking maybe I should live stream it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think I should do on April 8th, because I really don't know. But yesterday I was doing the live stream where we were taking a look at Iron Maiden and asking the eternal question, are they prog? And we're doing the same thing next weekend with XTC. And it kind of got me thinking, man, I'm talking about the same bands over and over, and I know this is my channel, so clearly I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and I talk about the bands that I love most often, obviously, and I'm not going to talk about some band that I don't love just because people want me to. That's fake. That's phony. I don't do that here. But last week over on the Classic Album Review channel, Barry put out an episode very, very similar to this. Yes, I am stealing this idea from Barry. I'm sorry, buddy. People steal from me all the time, and that's okay. Just give me credit for the idea, and I am fine. But today I'm going to be talking about 10 bands that I really have never talked about here on the channel. Couple others that I thought about right before I hit record, the Groundhogs, Sensational Alex Harvey Band, the Incredible String Band, Stackridge. Yeah, those bands are 4 bands right there I've never talked about, but today I'm going to be looking at 10 bands I never talk about, and then some more bands that I plan on talking quite a bit about in the near future, but we're starting out with number 10. It's the Residents. Oh man, what are these guys? Yeah, they're clearly not, capital P prog or anything like that, but if you like Zappa, if you like Devo, if you like, absolute craziness, there's no reason why you wouldn't get sucked up into this weird Clans, just bizarre universe that they've concocted for themselves, originally from Louisiana. Apparently, the boys moved to San Francisco in 1969, hooked up with Snakefinger, and by 1974, they put out their debut album, Meet the Residents. Third Reich and Roll came out in 1976, an absolute masterpiece. 1978, Not Available, and Duck Stab both came out. I love them both. Eskimo, probably my favorite, 1979. Either that or the Commercial album, which came out in 1980. Just fantastic. I love the early stuff. They've got like 43 albums, so I don't think I'll be ranking them anytime soon, but they definitely need their due because they're really, really cool and special and awesome. At number 9, band I never talk about is Lepus. A little, on the heavier end of the spectrum for me, on the Prog Corner, we don't talk a whole lot about those heavier prog bands, but Lepus is pretty special, man. They were formed in Norway in 2001, and I kind of got into them with their 5th album, The Congregation, from 2015. Since then, they've released 3 more albums, all of them really good. Manila, Pitfalls, and Aphelion in 2021. The band is led by the great vocalist Einar Solberg, one of the greatest voices you'll ever hear. You got 2 guitar players, Todd Oddmund and Robin Ognadal, the bass player Simon Daniel Borvin, and drummer Bard Colson. Great band. I love them. I'm sorry I don't talk a whole lot about them, but you know why I don't. They're, they're kind of heavy, and that's not my normal cup of tea. At number 8, though, here's a band that is my normal cup of tea, so why haven't I talked about them? It's the Enid. Formed in London in 1973 by Robert John Gottfried. Dude had been working with Barclay James Harvest on a lot of their orchestrations and, arrangements and whatnot. He put out a solo album. I think it was like 1974 or something like that. But the first Enid album came out in 1976 in the region of the Summer Stars. Originally, it was going to be called Voyage of the Acolyte, but somebody beat him to that, right? Second album, Airy Fairy Nonsense, the following year, fantastic. Touch Me in 79. And they round out their first 4 albums of greatness with the 1980s 6 pieces. 4 great albums, all instrumental. They came up with vocals later on, and they've done a couple good albums since. In 2012, they did one called Invicta that's really good. And their last album from 2019, You, also really good. Cool band. If you like classical music and you like prog, hey, Why wouldn't you like the Enid at number 7? Straight out of Germany, it's Birth Control. Formed in Berlin in 1968. These guys are like heavy prog, psych, mixed with some krautrock. There's some, prog in there, especially on a couple of their albums. Yeah, they put out 11 albums from 1970 to 1981. Then they kind of broke up and they put out like 6 ever since. They had one last year that wasn't too bad. 1971's Operation, fantastic. The following year, Hoodoo Man, 73 Rebirth. But the one I'm spotlighting here is from 1975. It's called Plastic People, and it is their most traditional prog album, but very cool band at number 6. How is it that I've never talked about Brand X on the channel before? Phil Collins' little foray into jazz fusion. These guys were formed in London in 1974 by, obviously, Phil Collins and Percy Jones on bass. What a monster he is. They're joined by John Goodsoul from Atomic Rooster. We lost him in 2021. And on keyboards, Robin Lumley, who had played with David Bowie. He left us last year in 2023, but their first album, 1976's Unorthodox Behavior, that became a staple for me on the boat. I listened to that thing all the time. Then Rock and Roll came out, and I really dug it too. Phil left for one album, the 1978 Masks album with Chuck Berge on drums. He is now Billy Joel's drummer. And then Phil came back for 1979's Product. An album that spawned 2 albums of outtakes afterwards that the band knew nothing about. Product is good, but those first 4 Brand X albums are awesome. I really do dig them. At number 5, let's go to Finland. I've never talked about Wigwam on the channel. How's that possible, man? I know I did my ranking the top bass players episode probably like 18 months ago, and I don't remember, but I know Pekka Bajola was somewhere on that list, probably in the top 5 because he's just amazing. But this is a band formed by Jim Pembroke in 1968. Their first album came out in like 1969 or something, but it's the next 3 that we're really focusing on here. 1970's Tombstone Valentine, 1971's Fairyport, and 1974's double album Being. Why those 3? Well, obviously, the great Pekka Bajola plays bass on those 3 albums, and if you don't know anything about Pekka Bajola or Wigwam, yeah, definitely check out Being or Fairyport. Just amazing stuff. Yeah, it's jazz, but it's pure prog. Just fantastic stuff. At number 4, going back to Germany with Grosnid. I know I've showed Rock Pummel's Land, the vinyl, behind me a bunch of times, but I don't even think I've ever said the name on this channel. They were formed in Germany in 1970. Their debut came out in 72, Ballerman in 74, Jumbo in 75. They did both the English and German version of that. Rock Pummel's Land in 77, and then the greatness that was Solar Music Live from 1978, basically reworking a lot of stuff that was on that Ballerman album, their second album. But just doing it incredible. This is an example where the live version absolutely exceeds the studio version, but Grosnid, I love them. They're cool, very symphonic, but they have this weird sense of humor woven through all their songs. Very cool, very different. Give them a try if you don't know them. At number 3, here's one I've taken a lot of heat about for never really talking about. From Greece, it's Aphrodites Child. Yeah, these cats only did like 3 albums. You know who they are. They were formed in 1967 by Evangelos Papathanassou. Yeah, you know him. He's Vangelis, right? Demis Roussos, who later on became like one of the biggest pop stars on the European continent in the 70s. Lucas Sideris and Silver Kaloris. And obviously, it is their 3rd album from 1972, 666. Such a seminal record. One of those absolute essential records in the prog rock canon. You know it. I know it. And now I can say I've actually talked about Aphrodites Child on the channel. At number 2, here's another one that I take some heat about, not really talking too much about. I have mentioned them before, so I lied a little bit when these were 10 bands I had never talked about, because I've mentioned Cardiacs before, and why wouldn't I, man? Formed in Surrey in 1977 by Tim Smith and his brother Jim. You had Sarah Smith, William D. Drake, Tim Key, Dominic Luckman, and then later on John Poole, Bob Leith joined the band, and the great Kavis Cherobi kind of took over. Dude man who's now in charge of Gong. I love him. He's amazing. Their early stuff was a little different. Like only available on cassettes and whatnot. Their first like real album was 1983. The Seaside, 1988, Little Man and a House and the Whole World Window, 1989 On Land and in the Sea, 1992, their totally forgotten masterpiece, Heaven Born and Ever Bright. I don't understand why no one ever talks about that one, but it's 1996's Sing to God I'm spotlighting. Because if you don't know Cardiacs, I can't think of a better place to start than that masterpiece. Absolutely. And at number one, band I've never really talked about on the channel. I've mentioned the name, but I've never really talked about them. It's Echolin, man. Probably the best band I've never really given any credit to here on the channel, and that's why I've got them in the number one spot. They were formed in Philly in 1989, dropped their debut in 91, and then it was their second album, Suffocating the Bloom, in 1992 that kind of got people's attention. They got signed to a major for their third album, As the World, which dropped in 1995, did nothing. So they were summarily dropped from the major label, but that didn't stop them putting out great music, man, especially 2002's May. What an incredible, just one piece of music, just so good. The End is Beautiful from 05. Their second self-titled album came out in 2012. And then their last album, I Heard You Listening, from 2015. Apparently, they are in the studio right now, working on some new stuff. Ray Weston, Brett Call, and Chris Busby. I have no idea who the drummer is these days. Maybe you clowns can help clear that up for me, because I see them listed as a three-piece without their old drummer, whatever his name was, Ramsey or something like that. I don't know, but Echolin's awesome. And here's a few bands that I haven't really talked a whole lot about on the channel, but I promise I'm going to be talking a whole lot more about. I'm planning on doing rankings for all of these. All right, so you don't need to suggest any of these. They're already in the works. I will be working on a ranking for Manfred Mann's Earth Band. Why not, man? I have been sleeping on Manfred Mann for entirely too long, but there's a lot of listening I still have to do. So this one's not coming until probably the end of the year. One of the next ones I'm doing is definitely going to be Mike Oldfield. I think I've heard all his albums, so I just need to get off my lazy butt and rank them. Another one, we just mentioned them a minute ago when talking about the Enid. How about Barclay James Harvest? Yeah, I need to rank their albums, and I plan on it, so I'm going to do it. Putting myself on the hook here by saying I'm going to do it, so I really have no out. Nectar, haven't ranked their albums yet, but I plan on it. Absolutely. Don't talk about them enough. Band I hardly ever talk about, but I absolutely adore is a modern one. Talking about Nemo from France, led by JPL, Jean-Pierre Louveton. 9 amazing albums by this band, and all the artwork's great. I wish they had vinyl for all of them, but for some odd reason, the only Nemo albums available on vinyl are the first one and the 9th one, so that's not cool. I need to rank Riverside. I plan on doing that at some point. Love this band. Ranking the Riverside sounds like a fun episode, so it's coming. I also plan on ranking the albums by Muse. Are they prog? I think they are, absolutely. Why not? I'm also planning to rank the Porcupine Tree albums. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. Weird, right? But that's the benefit of only having been on YouTube for 28 months. There's still a whole lot of stuff I haven't done, including ranking the Caravan albums. Haven't done that yet. What I've been planning on for a long, long time, ranking the Soft Machine albums. Haven't done that yet. Stereolab, I really want to rank their albums. I am a humongous fan. I know it's a little outside, you know, the actual prog canon, but I don't care. I consider Stereolab to be prog. Absolutely I do. And the last 2 I plan on doing might be my next 2, actually. I've been promising to do Straubs for a while, and it is going to be happening. I love this band. They need more attention, and I will be ranking them. And finally, the last band I've got planned to rank here in the next, I don't know, just say sometime in 2024, it's Hawkwind. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a Hawkwind ranking very, very soon. Band's still going strong, still putting out good music. So anyway, those are the 10 bands I never talk about, and 10 more that I'm going to be talking about. A whole bunch more in the future. Tomorrow, I will be reviewing the brand new album from Drifting Sun. It's called Veil. It's really, really good. And then Wednesday, I might actually take a day off. I'm working on a super secret project. They're author connected. I'm not going to say his name, but an author contacted me. He's working on a brand new biography of the band Kansas, and he asked for a little bit of help. So I will be, trying to contribute in some way to a brand new Kansas biography. So I'm really excited about that. Your boy's moving up in the world. Yes, indeed. Anyway, punks, I love you. I'll see you on the hippity hoppity flippity floppity. Yes, we are okay. Yes, we did have tornadoes roll through over the weekend. Luckily, it was about like 10 miles north of me, so everything's cool. We're fine. Everybody I know is fine. I'll be checking on all my customers later today to see if they're all right. But anyway, God save the king, boys and girls. Absolutely. You know that son of a gun's got the cancer, so bring that boy over here. Maybe watching the solar eclipse next month might help his state of mind, and mind and body are connected. You know that, so if he's feeling good, he's going to be good. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow as we review the brand new Drifting Sun. It's going to be awesome. I love you guys. Peace.